I'm Tariq Melrose. You ever watch someone answer a question and somehow make it worse? Today's speaker turned a 5-minute update into a masterclass in public confusion. But here, we don't let the message get lost in the mumble. We've got the clips, the contradictions, and the clarity they left behind. Subscribe now, because this isn't just news, it's a necessary filter.
This is the MAGA playbook in full display. Turn a serious security incident into a partisan inquisition, hammer a witness with yes or no traps, and frame every nuance as dishonesty. This wasn't about truth-finding, it was about staging a viral clip to smear an entire agency.
I have to say, Director, we're pretty close to the halfway point during this. You answered more questions with an ABC reporter than you have with members of Congress. We have a lot more questions. The American people are demanding that we get answers to those questions, and that's what the purpose of this hearing is today. So I'm sure a lot of the questions that have already been asked are going to be asked again, and hopefully we can get some answers to those questions. I strongly implore you to answer those questions. You're here with a subpoena, and we expect you to answer the questions. Chair now recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Cheadle, the American people are watching, and they're wondering if there are any questions you can answer honestly today. So, Director Cheadle, I have a series of questions, very specific questions. I want very specific answers. Most of my questions are going to demand a yes or no answer. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, my first question. Both sides of the aisle today have asked for your resignation. Would you like to use my 5 minutes to draft your resignation letter, yes or no?
No, thank you.
Was this a colossal failure?
It was a failure.
Yes or no? Was it a colossal failure is the question, yes or no?
I have admitted this is a terrible
This is a yes or no series of questions. Was this a colossal failure, yes or no?
Yes.
Was this tragedy preventable, yes or no?
Yes.
Has the Secret Service been transparent with this committee?
Yes.
Would you say the fact that we had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today as being transparent, yes or no?
I have always been eager
Yes
to
or no?
come
You didn't
and
want to
talk
answer
to
the question.
committee.
We had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today. That is not transparent, by the way. You stated earlier, Secret Service is not political. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say leaking your opening statement to Punchbowl News, Politico's Playbook, and Washington Post several hours before you sent it to this committee as being political, yes or no?
I have no idea how my statement got out.
Well, that's bullshit. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record articles by Punchbowl News, Political Playbook, Washington Post, all done at 5:24 a.m., 6:12 a.m., 6:34 a.m., a solid 3 to 4 hours before this committee got your statement.
Without objection, so ordered.
Okay. Is the Secret Service fully cooperating with our committee?
Yes.
Okay, you say you're fully cooperating with this committee. On July 15th, this committee sent you a list of demands of information that we wanted. Has the Secret Service provided this committee a complete list of all law enforcement personnel that were there that day? Have you done that? Have you provided a list to the Oversight Committee? Yes or no?
I will have to get back to you on that.
That is a no. Have you provided all audio and video recordings in your possession to this committee, as we asked on July 15th, yes or no?
I would have to get back to you on
That is a no. You're full of shit today. You're just being completely dishonest.
Mr. Chairman,
Completely dishonest.
Mr. Chairman, I want to.
Come on.
We have to maintain decorum in this committee, no matter how
have you provided
upset we
any
get.
and all memos to this committee that we've asked you on July 15th? Have you provided all memorandums within the Secret Service?
I would have to get back to you on
That is a no. You are being dishonest or lying. Like you're being dishonest here with this committee. These are important questions that the American people want answers to, and you're just dodging and talking around it in generalities. And we had to subpoena you to be here, and you won't even answer the questions. We have asked you repeatedly to answer our questions. This isn't hard. These are not hard questions. Have you provided us all communications from the Secret Service related to that day and that rally? Have you provided this committee? We've asked for this information on July 15th. Have you provided any of this information that this committee has asked of the Secret Service? Any of it?
I'll have to get back to you.
Have you even read this letter that we sent you? Did you even read this?
Yes.
Okay, and you have said you don't know, you have no idea. Well, the answer is no. We haven't gotten a single document or piece of information or data from you or your agency in related to the rally that we have asked you for. So, was this attempted assassination of Donald Trump a failure of training or execution or both?
I think that those are answers that we need to examine.
Training, execution, or both? Which one?
I think those are answers.
All right, how many Secret Service personnel have lost their jobs due to this colossal failure?
At this time, none.
How many Secret Service personnel have been required to take a refresher course on how not to let people shoot Donald Trump?
Our personnel are currently operational. We are examining the facts of this investigation, and we will make the changes necessary.
What time did law enforcement become aware that there was an individual on the roof with a clear line of sight to President Trump?
I am still verifying timelines.
Of course, 9 days in, you have no answers. How many minutes went by between the time law enforcement saw and took photos of crooks and the shooting? How many minutes?
I am still verifying timelines.
57 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Before I recognize Ms. Stansberry, I believe I want to recognize Mr. Mfume for a unanimous consent.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I beg your indulgence.
The entire exchange is built on a prosecutorial setup, not a fact-finding process. The Republican member starts by declaring that both sides have asked for the witness's resignation, a framing meant to strip away any notion of partisanship and make the attack appear universally justified. Then comes the rigid yes or no demand, a classic tactic to strip out context and force oversimplification of complex issues. In national security, very few answers are that binary, but the point here isn't clarity, it's control. By asking, would you like to use my 5 minutes to draft your resignation, the tone shifts from oversight to public humiliation. That's not about the safety of a former president or fixing protective lapses, it's about theater. The repeated yes or no commands on questions like, was this a colossal failure, or was this preventable, are designed to yield sound bites that will circulate on partisan media. The director admitting failure without space to explain contributing factors, operational realities, or next steps. Then comes the transparency ambush. The member equates being subpoenaed with not transparent, despite the fact that subpoenas are a procedural tool used in contentious or politically charged investigations all the time. She follows that with an accusation that the director's statement was leaked to media before the committee received it, citing articles from Punchbowl, Politico, and the Washington Post. There's no proof presented that the leak came from the witness or the agency, but the insinuation is planted, mission accomplished for the narrative. The heart of the attack is the list of unfulfilled information requests. By hammering, have you provided this, and labeling every I'll have to get back to you as that's a no, the member transforms incomplete responses into evidence of dishonesty. This ignores the reality that security agencies often cannot immediately release names, timelines, or surveillance data in an ongoing investigation without compromising operations. But again, the goal isn't to preserve investigative integrity. It's to portray the agency as obstructive and untrustworthy. The exchange escalates into personal accusation. You're being dishonest or lying. This crosses from policy oversight into character assassination. And because the witness can't disclose sensitive operational details in an open hearing, the attack becomes self-reinforcing. Every refusal to give specifics is framed as proof of a cover-up. It's a closed loop designed for outrage, not understanding. Then comes the rhetorical haymaker. How many have lost their jobs due to this colossal failure? When the answer is none, unsurprising in the middle of an ongoing internal review, it's framed as dereliction. In reality, disciplined agencies wait for full investigative findings before personnel actions. But the insinuation here is that there's no accountability. The refresher course jab, about how not to let people shoot Donald Trump is not a policy question. It's a partisan zinger built for a campaign ad. When operational timelines are requested, how many minutes between spotting the suspect and the shooting, and the director can't confirm specifics 9 days in, the member declares 7 minutes herself, ending the segment with the implication that the agency either doesn't know or is hiding it. This not only preempts investigative process, but feeds a tidy, villainous narrative. A federal agency failed, is lying, and is protecting itself at the expense of the truth. This is part of a larger pattern. MAGA-aligned Republicans have spent years undermining public trust in federal law enforcement and protective services, painting them as deep state actors more loyal to Democrats than to their duties. By locking the witness into yes-no traps, demanding operational details in public, and equating procedural delays with corruption, they create a spectacle that serves their political brand. Government agencies are corrupt, incompetent, and unaccountable. The cost? Real oversight is replaced by performative combat. Operational security gets compromised for political theater, and the public walks away with a distorted view, not of what happened and how to fix it, but of an agency under siege by lawmakers more interested in sound bites than solutions. This wasn't a search for answers. It was a scripted takedown by demanding yes or no on complex security issues, accusing the witness of dishonesty at every turn, and twisting procedural realities into proof of a cover-up. The questioning was designed for partisan media, not problem solving. It feeds the larger Republican narrative that federal agencies are corrupt and politically compromised, while ignoring the constraints of active investigations and the need for measured, evidence-based accountability. What suffers is the truth, replaced by weaponized outrage and distrust that erodes public confidence in institutions tasked with protecting our leaders and our democracy. If we want real accountability for security failures, we need genuine oversight, not congressional grandstanding, built for YouTube clips and fundraising emails. Don't confuse political theater with accountability. Share this breakdown, push for fact-driven oversight, and demand hearings that prioritize solutions over sound bites. Like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep exposing these manufactured spectacles, because real security reform depends on truth, not partisan point scoring.